Hey, my friend, back to the 5-minute quickie. And it's so nice to have you here. And I wanted to go back in time a little bit with the act of gratitude, but not the act of gratitude as writing it down. And I love that, and thinking of the 5 things today, or something from the past, something from the present, something from the future, all that stuff. I had a little aha moment of how to change just a little bit, just for some times, of the act of gratitude. And what did that mean? Well, I was flicking through 1 or 2 bits and pieces, and I suddenly found a book about the early days of NLP. And it reminded me, because this book was just there. I'd seen it before, but as I started reading it, it was just slightly different in my head. So what happened? I read a little bit, started thinking about, who created the things that I love. NLP is something I love. Hypnosis is something I love. And where did my thoughts come from? Who taught me? And as I was thinking that, I was flicking through something else, and an old video came up, an old video of an NLP technique. And I thought to myself, I've forgotten about that. And this started to remind me of a lot of the stuff I knew and know now. I'm not quite sure whether to use them all the time, but certainly they've helped me develop the processes that I use now. And I thought to myself, I'm really grateful for that. Grateful for myself, putting myself in that position of learning NLP, because it was a bit frightening for me, being my little introverted self, just a little frightening, a little scary, but I did it. So pleased I did, 20 odd years ago now. But I got to think, well, what am I grateful for about all of that? And I thought, well, where did it all start? And I thought of the early days of Bandler and Grinder, the originators of NLP, and then the people who come from it, all the way to my trainers, and then to me, all the books I've read. Where did it start? And then thinking about how grateful I am to the people who were there at the start, because they pioneered this stuff. And then the people who followed, like my trainers. Me, I'm following it now. And there's so many offshoots of people who have put their heart and soul into the thing that I love. And I thought, I'm so happy that I'm now here and knowing the things that I know because of them. And I wondered, well, what about you? What are the things that you know? Where did it come from? Who was there at the beginning? Who pioneered this? What did they do? What are the other people around there? What did they all have to do to get into your brain and inspire you to do things? And you're in this world of personal development because I know you are, because you're here. So what inspired you to get here? And then think, well, where did it come from? And that, to me, is just one thing to be grateful for in a different way. Because I know when I think about my family and my friends and the things I've got and the things I'm going to do, that's my normal act of gratitude. But this was just following a path backwards and noticing there's so much more. All the cogs that had to come in place for me to get back there 20 odd years ago, and all the cogs that had to come in place for me to be here speaking to you. And I thought, in this 5-minute quickie, because this is the time where I use it to think, to muse, and it would be nice if you were just to think about what you've learned and where did it come from. And I think when you do that, it does a number of things. Yes, you can feel so grateful for the people that the footprints and the footsteps that you're now treading in. And they had to walk first. But also for you, for doing and taking it even further. And then looking to the future and going, what else can I do? How else can I take what I know and improve it and improve me? Make myself a little bit better every day. Influence the world just a little bit more. Influence the people around me by being the change I want to see in myself. We're all influencers. Forget all the, I'm an influencer. Yeah, you're one too. We're all here to influence ourselves by what we think and what we feel and how we move around this world, the behaviours, the thoughts that we have, the things that we do, that selfless service, the effect that we have on others. And it all started way back then. Way back then. And yes, to me, that's just magical steps of creating ourselves. And when you think about that, and we're that tiny little dot, and we go, wow, I'm part of this. I'm part of the world, making a difference, flapping me little old wings and causing a storm over there. That's something to be grateful for, isn't it? Doesn't it make you feel, to me, it makes me feel alive. And that's just that one bit. And then when I think of my normal act of gratitude, and I think of my family and what they're doing, I can just go, wow, this is so much. And the other things I've attracted in my life. And then you go, well, how can I make something even more special in this world? What steps can I take? What things can I do that will, when I sit back and go, I can feel so grateful for? And that act of gratitude then is, I think, something that will really spur your unconscious mind to find more of. Whether it's a law of attraction, or whether it's just that reticulating, activating system, your biology, your mind and your eyes, finding the things that just makes you grow in a great way, in a way that you want to do more of, and then feel grateful again. And that's a wonderful reciprocating cycle, isn't it? There, I wonder if you just want to sit down, as I do sometimes, with a beer. I like a beer. A gin and tonic. I like a gin and tonic. They're all alcohol, aren't they? Yeah. But with a cup of tea, a glass of water, quietness maybe, and just muse of how you got here in this place right now, and who are the people who affected that. So you can be grateful that they did what they did, and think they would have to go back in front to what they've learned, and who taught them and who taught them. It's a wonderful chain of evolution that's creating you, isn't it? To me, it's a wonder. And the wonder is you. Anyway, have more fun than you can stand. And as always, it's great to share, because if you share this, if you tell people about this, you will know even more about the little subject that we've just mused about. If you share the podcast, might even go wider. Certainly help getting this podcast and the message of Personal Development Unplugged to so many more people, which will do great. And if you subscribe by pressing that little button, that would be awesome. They're my three little wishes. Fourth one is just have a great life and have more fun than you can stand. Okay? Until the next time, my friend, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, welcome to the 5 Minute Quickie. And if you're new here, Just a little explanation what a 5-minute quickie podcast is with the Personal Development Unplugged podcast. But it's basically me just musing and hopefully getting you to muse, to think. Think about different things just over, say, 5 minutes, and maybe you'll take them away. Those thoughts, develop them, and maybe we can develop them together in a longer podcast. Sometimes they'll be, well, they're never 5 minutes, I tell you that now, or very rarely. There may even be a little process there, I don't know, but it's things that I've come across, read, heard, and just something I want to share with you. Just to think and to probe and get ourselves in a way that we can just keep striving to be that little bit different, a little bit better, so we can be the change we want to see in others and be the change we want to be in ourselves. Just a thought. Just becoming aware of maybe what is new, what we can do. When we start thinking of things like that, I believe it means we start to create those things as well. Because you have a feeling. The feeling that those thoughts generate, and that feeling will, I think, resonate into action and results. Anyway, that's a quick roundup intro of the 5-minute quickie.